And a thatch of blonde hair, I could do a Donald Trump and say, wow, that really was stunning. Just looking at some of the, I know we're under time pressure, but Ubi, one of the big problems with Ubi is that they haven't sorted out the basic problem. Who brings out the bloody bin? That's all I want them to do. The next one is, I'm fascinated by what I'm going to do next, Tony, because I've actually been sidelined. There's a group of people, Kevin Maher, Ian, and they're going to come along and they're going to talk about the Ireland's network of things, and I'm not involved. So Ian and Kevin, is it? If you want to come along, and where are they to sit? Are they to sit? Come on up. You're going to do a chat.
Good morning. My name's Kevin Maher. I'm Director of Sales for Sigfox UK and Ireland. And I'd like to take a little bit of time just to explain to you who Sigfox is and the role that we're playing in bringing the Internet of Things to life. Sigfox is a French company. It's been going since 2009, and in the last 3 years has really started to focus now on what it can do in the value chain in terms of getting the data from all those devices that we've talked about. So, very quickly, we all know it's a big market. We know there's huge potential for IoT. Looking right back from computers through to the mobile phone in the 80s, the internet, and today, the growth cycle is just shortening. It's getting incredibly short. And that was evident to me when I went to Mobile World Congress this week in Barcelona. I've been going there for a long time, and 10 years ago, nobody had heard of IoT. It was all about mobile phones. 5 years ago, it was all about smartphones. Today, I would say that 30% of what you see at Mobile World Congress is dedicated to IoT. So it's incredible, and it's moving very, very fast. And it touches upon every segment. Again, in Barcelona, I walked past stand after stand, and there were applications from every sector that you can imagine, whether it's industrial, smart city, agricultural, environmental, automotive. Everything benefits from IoT, and I think that's quite an incredible thing, and the opportunities for everybody in this room is amazing. But there's a lot of data to be collected. A lot of that data is collected wirelessly. Some of it doesn't need wireless to get that data, but at the end of the day, the data's got to get off that device and it's got to get to a cloud somewhere. And there are a number of different technologies out there, wireless technologies that are doing that and doing it quite well. You've got LTE, GSM, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. They all address more of the sort of higher bandwidth requirements of devices. From a Sigfox perspective, we believe that the majority of those devices don't have a lot of data to send. But what they do have to send is incredibly important. We reckon about 70% of the data or the devices that are out there are low bandwidth devices, or have low bandwidth requirements, and that's the area that we are trying to address, how to get the data from those devices. And it's got to be done cost effectively. I spent a lot of time in the cellular space focusing on M2M and IoT, and a lot of those devices, you can't economically get that data from them wirelessly. We believe at Sigfox we found a way to do that. We've got to ask the fundamental question. We've been talking about IoT for a long, long time, and it hasn't taken off yet. We hear all sorts of numbers, 50 billion devices and all that stuff, but we're still getting through that part of the hype curve. I think we're breaking through it now, but there's a number of reasons Sigfox believes why we haven't seen that huge growth just yet. And it's all to do with these 4 key areas, I believe. You've got lots of devices out there. They're trying to get their data back over some sort of wireless technology to the cloud. There are problems with battery life. There are problems with which wireless technology do you use? Is it one technology? Is it more than one technology? How simple is it? It's got to be plug and play. It's got to be, I hate to use that word, but it's got to literally be something that you take it out of the box, you install it, and it just works. And it's got to be cost effective. You've got to get the cost right down. And for all of those reasons, that's why Sigfox exists. So let's look at one of those key points. Ubiquitous connectivity. Sigfox is building a global public IoT network. Quite similar to a cellular network, but it's dedicated to IoT. There are no smartphones on this. There's nothing else but IoT devices. It operates in the narrowband, ISM bands. We're building networks across the board. We've got 14 countries that are getting up and running now, Ireland being one of them. We're aiming to treble that in the next 2 years. We're aiming to get to around 60 countries in 3 years. currently got about 2 million square kilometers covered by our networks. 7 million devices today are communicating on it. And we're going to see huge growth in that. We just announced recently another partner in Germany. So we're going to start seeing a lot of deployments of our network technology. And then the more important thing here, or equally important thing, is getting the cost driven down. If you look at the various modules that are out there for Wi-Fi, not so much Wi-Fi, but cellular, not necessarily that cheap to put that into a device and get that data back. So what we're doing is we've made our protocol royalty-free to the ecosystem. So we're working with silicon manufacturers, helping them to get the Sigfox protocol embedded into their chipsets. We're working with modem manufacturers to help them get modems out there for early prototyping. There are no SIM cards involved in this technology. It's chipsets only. Again, to my previous slide, it's a public network. It's not a private network. You don't have to go and put a base station up on a campus and manage that and get it working. Where you've got the Sigfox signal, you will get connectivity. On the OpEx side of it, we're driving down the cost of the monthly and annual cost of getting that data back. It's a subscription-based model, very similar to cellular in some ways, but it's much lower price points and much lower. When you start getting into significant volumes, it gets significantly cheaper than any other technology. So my final slide is about the simplicity of it. We have developed a technology. We're a mobile operator, a global mobile operator. We were conscious of the fact that the value that we bring to the ecosystem is in getting that data from a device to a cloud. Basically, when a Sigfox device is developed and it's certified and tested, that device will work in any country, on any network, as soon as you take it out of the box and switch it on. There's no provisioning needed. There's no calling up customer services and getting it switched on. It will simply work out of the box. One of the points I mentioned on the slide, a couple of slides ago, was the battery life. We are conscious that a lot of these applications don't have a power source. They need a good battery life. We've designed the technology in such a way that it can be optimized to get battery lives of somewhere in the region of 10 to 12 to 15 years, depending on the number of messages that the device sends and the duration of those messages. But at the end of the day, it's about getting that data very quickly and very simply back so that all of the products that people in this room are developing and the applications that they're serving simply work. That's it for me. Thank you.